Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Bit of a change of scenery. I'm hoping to get the best out of, that window, and now I look a bit brighter. Hopefully it's a bit easier to see. But today's collection video is SNES games, yeah. The SNES was the first console I ever had. I got it for Christmas like years and years ago, and I love it. It's probably my favourite console from Nintendo. And I have a total of 31 games, and this is kind of unfortunate because I've no more room to keep my SNES games. This is my SNES game drawer and it's full. Some people just have it so bad, like myself, not being able to keep all my SNES games right. Anyway, let's get on with it. Right. The first SNES game is the only one I actually have boxed, ActRaiser. Now the reason I have it boxed, I'm not particularly fond. Well, I do like this game a lot. It's class as hell. But it was just a case of seeing it on eBay for an okay price, so I thought, fuck it, I'll buy it. So yeah, it's essentially a cross between an RTS and a 2D side scroller, and I thought I wouldn't like it, but turns out I really did. The RTS segments were really, they were really simple. They weren't overly complex, and the side-scrolling segments were amazing. Fantastic music, awesome all the way around. I never did beat it. I got to the end, the very last boss, but it asks you to do all the bosses again, harder versions of the boss, may I add. And I was like, nah, fuck this. I hate it when a game does that, by the way, a lot. But I got to the end anyway, regardless, and I enjoyed it a lot. Right, now on to these unboxed games. First we have Super Bomberman. This was one of my favourites in my childhood. You're all familiar with the Bomberman formula, most likely. This is I haven't played a lot of Bomberman games, but I guess this would have to be my favourite by default. I love the music, it all just reeks of nostalgia for me, And I keep saying again. Stop it! It is really, really fantastic, and I highly recommend it to any SNES owners. Here we have F-Zero. I've already stated in the past that I feel bad because I own a lot of F-Zero games, but I never really play them. I just got them for the sake of having them. From what I've played of this, I think I did have it when I was a kid, actually. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I just remember this game that looked a lot like this, with the Mode 7 and the racing and all that. And I didn't play it a lot, nor have I played it a lot now. But I'm not going to talk down on it, like I said, because it spawned a lot of good other racing games. I really, really need to get into them, though. I just feel bad. Right. Here we have a Star Wing, or a Star Fox as it's called. When I was younger, I was blown away by the whole polygons and that. I'm pretty sure everyone was. And today it's still a pretty good game. Star Fox 64 is way better. Well, obviously. But still really, really good game. It's called Star Wing over here, but I usually just refer to it as Star Fox regardless, Here we have a Tiny Toon. What's it called? Tiny Toon Adventures Buster Busts Loose. That's the full name of the title. One of my favourites as a kid. I've already said, in my NES games that friggin' the Konami Tiny Toon trilogy is really, really good, and I highly recommend it to anyone. This is probably the weakest of the three, if I'm honest, but it's still really, really good anyway, Okay. Here we have Aladdin. I used to be addicted to this film when I was younger, and this game is just as good. It's another one of those Disney Capcom games. There's one on the Mega Drive as well, Aladdin. And I played them both as a kid, but I'd have to say this is my favourite, even though I do like the Mega Drive a bit more than the SNES, but this game it's better in my opinion, Right. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Turtles in Time. Surprisingly, this actually includes Michelangelo's nunchuck, which wasn't really allowed. That was also censored in this country way back in the day. But fantastic beat 'em up, probably one of the best. Way better than the NES game, obviously. Not much to say on that. I like it more than the arcade game. I've got the arcade game on a was it on Xbox Live Arcade. This one's better, and they remade this on Xbox Live Arcade. Yes, remade. It's called Reshelled. And I remember downloading the trial and I'm like, this is boring. Yeah. But regardless, this is great at least, you know, fantastic. Alright. The Legend of Mystical Ninja. I had to double check what the full title was there, because I recently got the I was just pointing at my N64. Mystical Ninja is inside it right now, you know. There was 2 N64 games in this, and those were the only Mystical Ninja games, to my knowledge, that came out over to English-speaking audiences, you know. The series is actually huge in Japan, you know, and I feel really bad, because I would love to play some of them, you know, because from what I've played of all these are great. I mean, I actually Let's Played this, as some of you know. I think I prefer the N64 version a bit more. It takes after this one by a lot. But yeah, I still really like this, obviously. Check out my LP of it if you haven't already. Here's the crowning jewel of my SNES collection, the very first video game I ever played, and this is the actual cartridge, Super Mario All-Stars. Right. Yeah, I think they did like bundle deals with this game, and this is what my parents got for me, you know. It's just win this cartridge, you know. Mario 1, 2, 3, and there was even, I used to have a version that had Super Mario World in there as well, you know. I don't have that anymore, sadly. Mario World is in here somewhere. I'll get to that when we get there, but yeah. One of the best packages you could ever buy, ever. Right, here we have Super Putty. Now, I bought this in the box out of a shop, you know. I solely bought it because it was in the box. I tried playing it and it really didn't grab me at all, you know. You play as this blob thing and I don't know, it's not too fun. I'm not played it that much, so I can't really comment on it. Right. Here we have a Doom classic. I used to have Wolfenstein 3D when I was younger, you know. I never had this. And I don't own Wolfenstein 3D as of now. That's one on my to-buy list, and it has been for a long time. But from what I can recollect, remember it was like 15 years ago since I last played Wolfenstein 3D. But I think I like that game better than this. You know, this is still good. I think I got pretty far in this. Doesn't it? Nah, I don't think this has a save feature in it, does it? It has a password system, I think. Yeah. I got pretty far. Wasn't really compelled to beat it though, but still, classic SNES game. Obviously the PC versions of that game is better. It was kind of toned down slightly for the SNES iteration, but still. Right, here's a game a lot of people love, but I gotta say, I can't beat it. I can't get far in this game at all. UN Squadron, right? A lot of people love this game, yeah, I know. And again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's got fantastic graphics and sound, and it is a very competent 2D shooter. But I'm really bad at it. I'm sorry, I can beat a few levels, but not all of them, and it's just, yeah, I suck at this game. But again, I'm not talking down on it. It's really good, and I recommend you try it out. Alright. Here's another one of my favourites, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Actually, this is just a really stupid observation I've made. I'm pretty sure Starwing and Yoshi's Island use the same sort of Super FX chip, I believe it's called, because if you look at the bottom of the cartridges, it's got a sort of a longer chip right there, whereas normal games have just the kind of short. I don't know if you can even see that. I'm just making a nerdish observation right there. But one of my absolute favourites, definitely check it out if you've got SNES. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a bit of a dirty game. Excuse me. Yeah, it's the same deal with Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. I got further in this game than I did in Ghosts and Goblins, you know. But again, it got to the point where I'm like, no, this game I can't beat it. I don't like how you can't control your jump after you've left the area, you know. That leads to a lot of deaths when I play it anyway, you know. So yeah, a big favourite of mine, Super Castlevania 4, fantastic. A lot better than the NES games, I gotta say. Well, I've only played one, but yeah. This is after this, I believe. No, there was one more. There was one more on the SNES. I don't think it came out over here though. I'm gonna have to double check that. But this was one of the final linear style Castlevanias. Then they went off to the Metroid Castlevania style, you know. And even though I preferred Metroid Castlevania to the classics, this one holds a special place in my heart. It's fantastic, you know, it really is.